Hi, welcome to Cookin' Little. Today I'll be giving a dollhouse tour. This has been a much requested video and I finally finished my kitchen, so I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and do it. This section here is the original section that I first made back in 2015. I made my kitchen for YouTube. It was always going to be a set for this channel. It's the only dollhouse I own and have ever made. But I needed it to be something that I could cook and film in at the same time. So it's all open and has been built to be a set. This section here is brand new with the stone wall and the pantry. And the dining area with that bay window is also relatively new. And if you come around here, you'll see that this part isn't actually finished. Hi! It's going to be either a closet or some stairs leading to an upstairs that I probably won't ever really make. Those French doors don't lead anywhere right now, but I might add on the living room sometime in the future. So that's the whole space that I currently have. It's just the kitchen with the dining room area and the door leading out to the backyard and then the pantry. And that's what it looks like from above. And if you'll come out, you'll see that it actually isn't finished at all. On the outside, 100% not done. I actually have these doors taped up. I plan on putting hinges on them so I can get them to work properly, and I have a popsicle stick there gluing something together. So it's really not done and something I wouldn't normally show in a video, but I thought you guys might like to see it. If you come around, the room I'm in is really small, so it's hard to get around the whole thing, but yeah, so that back side there's the door. I've taped up the seams just so light doesn't shine through while making a video. And that's the whole thing. It's actually kind of big. It takes up a lot of space. The room I'm in is very small and our house is small, so if I were to add on the living room it would be even bigger and take up more room. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. So that's the dollhouse. That's what it looks like all put together. So I mentioned before how I'm using this dollhouse as a set to cook and make my videos, so it needed to be something that I can film inside, and obviously right now that would be really hard to do. I just want to show you how I'm able to accomplish that. It's really cool actually. So I have this section and this section, and then the kitchen section are all separate pieces. That section back there is sitting on a table, and these two sections are sitting on their own roll-away table. So I can actually pull this whole dollhouse apart, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. It's really neat. I'll show you. First of all, this piece back here is all separate. The window all the way to the fireplace in the back is its own separate piece. So this is what that window section looks like in the back. This here is an L-shaped metal bracket piece for like a shelving system, and I attached it to the wall right there. And then it's hooked on two hooks on that side where the holes are, two screws, and things are falling. And then it just detaches like that. And then it's just attached to these two screws in the back here, so I can take it on and off whenever I need to. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and put that on this table over here so you can see the rest of the dollhouse and how it comes apart. So this whole piece can be placed over here. And I'm very careful because that big bay window took so much time. Put it carefully over there. See how it's completely detached now? And the side of the dollhouse is exposed. And if I wanted to film at this angle, now I can. And look at that. Things do always fall when I'm filming. I just edit that kind of stuff out, you guys. Anyway, I'm going to put this away so I can show you the rest of the dollhouse. These two parts here are separate. And if you look, you see they actually come apart like a jigsaw puzzle a little bit. And it also comes off from the back here and over here. And that's where it's attached over there. Usually what I do is actually leave this side on. Then this piece is the piece that comes out. And now I have the dollhouse sitting over there. And a lot of the times I will film with this section in place and then this section back on. With that section back on, so now that when I film I have that window in the back behind the fireplace, and then this window as well. It's still a bit of a tight squeeze because I have to fit in that little section right there to cook. And I won't do that the whole time. Like if I don't have enough room, I can remove this wall, cook, and then put it back for the other parts of the video. That's what that looks like. And then the pantry's sitting over here by itself now, which actually gives me an opportunity to film it for you guys. So I will just talk about the pantry for a second. So this section of my dollhouse is brand new. This stone wall, this door, and the pantry. This stone wall I thought came out really nice. It's miniature plaster stones that I got at miniatures.com. And I use this mortar mix to go with it, and the final results really did turn out very realistic looking, I think. And this is the glue that I use. It's Weld Bond glue. This door, I bought a regular dollhouse door and kind of turned it into an old farmhouse door like this. And it opens and the two parts come apart like that. But anyway, it doesn't look that great. It doesn't work that well, and I'm not 100% happy with it, but it was a struggle to get it to work. So I'm happy at least that it's there for now, and maybe one day I will try to fix it. But it's good for now. Nothing about my house is perfect. I kind of just wing everything and hope for the best. The floors used to be popsicle sticks, but that was a bit of a nightmare. They warp so easily, and when I went to stain them, all the pieces started to come up again. So I removed all the popsicle sticks and replaced them with a hard wood that I found at miniatures.com, and then I stained it this dark walnut, and I think it turned out so beautiful. There's a dusty corner. Yeah, so I just like the way it came out. It looks so much better than popsicle sticks, and they went down easily, and I could stain them and use glue. This is what I got. It was from miniatures.com, just some strips of hard wood. This is about a 1-inch strip. And I did my whole house using these. This is my pantry. This whole section is new. I made this paneled wall using some craft wood that I found at Walmart in the craft section. The barn door I made using some wood that I got at miniatures.com. It's the same type of wood that I use for my flooring, but just a different size. So for the hardware, I used some metal wheels that I found on Etsy. They were just a jewelry component. And the metal bar that goes across, I got that at onlinemetals.com, and they will cut metal to size for you there, so I was able to get exactly the size that I needed. The top here opens up. I left it like that so that I could put a light there in case I needed some extra light inside this dark pantry, which I do. It's really rather dark in there. But I thought it was kind of cool how it shines down inside the pantry and looks like an overhead light. And there's the inside. I try to keep it stocked, and I'm trying to fill it up even more. Some of these things actually are real food from previous videos or videos I have in the works, like that brown sugar will be in a video coming up. Because I do plan on making more videos, I know it's been a while. But yeah, anytime I make a video, I'm going to try and make extra items for my pantry so I can have a nice stocked pantry. I kind of fell in love with that pantry from the movie The Hobbit, when Bilbo's fully stocked pantry, and I just want a pantry like that in my dollhouse, so that will be the goal one day. So some of this is real. The onions are real, the bag of chips that just fell are real, and the rice bag is real, and the brown sugar. And the paper towels are real. I made those myself. We're using real paper towels. And there's the pantry. Yeah, so this is the main section that I originally made. And my whole dollhouse is built using these 10 by 10 wooden art boards that I got at Walmart. And it's basically just these boards put together, and I use them for the floor and the walls. And my whole dollhouse is built using these with some other scrap pieces of wood here and there, but mostly it's just these. So I'll just take you around to get a closer look at the kitchen area. So I keep everything open and on display. I figure if you have all these cute little miniature items, why hide them? So well, I do have some drawers and a couple cabinets that do open. I don't keep a lot of stuff in them. I keep everything out in the open like this, so you know, you can see it, and then I'll remember that I actually own it. These two drawers work. They're held in with magnets so they don't fall out. At least that top one is. I don't know if I did the same thing to the bottom. But I fill it with just some little items that I use when I'm cooking and baking. And this is an open cabinet that I like because you can see right inside it, and I keep some of the cuter dishes in there. I really like those floral mugs. I thought those were adorable. And the honey. And so these open, but I keep pots and pans down there that I don't really use. That one is broken. The hinges aren't working on that one. I get a lot of questions about my sink, so I'll just talk about that for a minute. The faucet is made using a crazy straw that was the perfect shape for a faucet, and I just painted it. And it's attached to a hose in the back, and the water comes out using one of these syringes. And it's really easy to do. I just fill it up with water. And as you can see, the water comes out very easily. And this is the back of the house. You can see what it looks like coming out of the back. My fridge is a 1/12 scale dollhouse fridge that I got on Amazon. I altered it to look the way it does. It came with two doors split down the middle that opened up. What I did was add a piece of paper to the top, and then I painted it, and then I added some resin to give it the hard glossy look. I really wanted my fridge to be magnetic, but it's wooden. So I drilled some small shallow holes in the inside and added some magnets. Then I just put some drywall putty over that, let that dry, and then paint over it. And it works really well. To make magnets, I just need some metal. This here is a small nail that I stuck in there, and it holds this little piece of paper up. I do have some small magnets. Can you believe that magnet there is actually a real magnet, and it's very strong too. Look at that. That there is a magnet. But the other pieces on my fridge are just little metal things that are sticking there. Metal cookie cutter and a can opener. The inside of my fridge is pretty much the same as how I got it. I just left one of the shelves off to give me more space. There really wasn't much room. And I just keep some non-perishables in there, some fake food. The bottom, I leave it empty. Sometimes I do put ice in there, so the fridge doesn't work at all. It's completely fake, but I do put ice in there to keep things cool when I'm using my stove or oven. This is my wonderful collection of copper pots and pans. I'm really happy with all of these. I get most of these things on Etsy, not from miniature shops, but vintage shops and antique shops, usually. You just have to look around. These I got on Etsy. It was a miniature shop. And the silver little pot there. And that copper pot there was another vintage antique thing that I found on Etsy. And that drawer. I made that. I have a video where I made that. I got that at the dollar store and just painted it. This is a stove I use to cook all my meals on. Trying to get a view in the back so you can see it. It's actually not finished in the back. I don't have the little white bricks on the back side. This top here is a floor tile that I got at Lowe's. They cut it to size for me inside the store. I use tile because if I were to use real wood, it would burn, obviously. This piece here is from a miniature cast iron stove that came apart, so I was able to get the top off very easily. And I just put some washers in there. As you can see, I did a very shoddy job of cutting the tile myself for the middle section. That's because I have an awful cutter for that. The whole stove itself is poured concrete. I made the mold using styrofoam, and then I just have some fake plastic bricks on the outside to make it look a little nicer. The whole thing lifts up off the floor completely. In the floor below, I poured some more concrete where the fire is because it actually gets very hot and I didn't want to risk burning my house down. This square crucible I got on eBay, and that's what I used to hold the fire. This is my fireplace. This was the first thing that I ever built after making the frame for my house. I built it right into the corner of the house using cement, fireplace mortar, stones. As you can see, it's a real fireplace as far as I'm concerned. I put real wood fires in there, but usually I use a gel fuel. Oh, there you can see I'm killing my camera to show you, but the flue is open and works. The oven works as well. I use that to cook my cakes and things like that, but it's kind of small, so I might one day make a bigger oven for my kitchen. But I really love how the fireplace turned out. It was the first and only fireplace I ever built, so I was pretty happy that it works and it turned out okay. This is what it looks like in the back. Not too great. It gets really hot, so what I've done is cut the wall in my dollhouse where the fireplace is, just not to risk it catching on fire. When I'm cooking, I have water and a fire extinguisher by my side at all times because I'm using real fire and it's very dangerous. So that's my fireplace. As you can see, it's working. And I love the way it looks on the floor right there. Isn't that nice? So the windows in my house are working windows. I made these. This one here works. And the bay window. 8 of those 10 windows that you're looking at do work. So this whole window was quite the project. It felt like I was putting together a very complicated Lego set with all the little pieces of wood, and it just took forever to do this with this whole window. I was going to film it, so you can see it all work, see? I was going to film making the video, but the window itself never would have gotten done if I had to stop and film every part. So all of these windows work. Some work better than others. They get stuck. But it's an old farmhouse, so that's typical, and they're wood windows, so that's to be expected. So this window here and the one on the other side don't open. I can't remember why I decided to do that. But these 3 in the middle do open. I lost a knob for one of those, but see, they open and close. I love that. I'll take this down so you can see the frame and this cushion off the window seat. So all these little pieces had to go together to get this window with all the little pieces of wood. But it came out so nice. I really do like it. If you look up, you see the ceiling. And it looks so pretty with natural light coming through it. I have it right next to a window in my kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the tour here. This video is getting kind of long. If there's anything that I missed, or if you have any questions for me, just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.